Good morning. Joey Star here for Star Quality Kitchen. They say that you can't have your Pop Tart and eat it too. Little cake, but you know what I mean. Well, in this new age of creating healthier versions of breakfast items and junk food for those of us who wish to live an extra 6 months, Legendary Foods, the same people that brought you your Quest, has regrouped to bring us a line of protein snacks that include pastries, chips, and more. Okay, so they're probably healthier in terms of snacks, but the important question is, how do they taste and are they worth the cost? I always liked the Quest bars back when I was into that, so I decided to review today Legendary Foods Protein Pastry. The protein pastries gives us a chance to enjoy something that's similar to a Pop Tart that is packed with protein and is keto friendly. I'll be trying the strawberry flavored. One of the interesting things about this, besides that it's a new type of essentially Pop-Tart, not only are there microwave instructions for heating these up, but it's actually the only option that they even talk about here. So kind of a new age, huh? No need to have a toaster. So unlike Pop-Tarts, this actually only comes with one pastry individually wrapped. It's a bit smaller on the length and seemingly the width of a typical Pop-Tart. Here's the back, frosted on the front. According to them, I just take this out of the wrapper and pop it into the microwave for 10 seconds. So I've nuked this for 10 seconds and there's already a nice sweet aroma inside my kitchen. Not very strong, but it's there. And what I like too is on the box in the instructions, it says, and I quote, "Filling and icing may be hot. Enjoy with caution." For nearly $10 for a box of 4 of these smaller versions of Pop-Tarts, I would hope so. Now I'm touching this here. I mean, my fingers are in no danger of being burnt, but it feels a little warm inside. The aroma's pretty nice, though I would say a Pop-Tart probably smells a bit better. The frosting, not even melty or warm, but let's go ahead and just take a bite and just see here. It's not bad. So I'm going to show you the cross section here. So the pastry part, not as flaky as I'm used to having with Pop-Tarts, a little thicker than I thought it was going to be, and a little chewier than I thought it was going to be too. The actual filling, let's see if I can get this to drip. It's very paste-like, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not the consistency that you'd expect. Now the actual flavor and the pastry part, it's okay. Not as tasty, but then again, you know, at 4 net carbs per tart, you know, you gotta expect that it's gonna be the type of flour where the characteristics of it are gonna be different when it's baked than say your typical enriched white flour, right? So that, yeah, I gotta give them a pass on that. The actual filling, take it here. It's not the most strawberry tasting filling you're gonna find out there. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that it's barely recognizable as strawberry. It's something sweet. It's something that it tastes like it wants to make you think that it's fruity tasting, but it's really not very fruity tasting. I'm not trying to put it down because it's a decent pastry, but this kind of tastes like what Aquafresh would taste like if they had a strawberry flavored toothpaste. I'm not kidding. Let me take another bite here. The other thing about the filling is that besides that it's a bit pasty, both in texture and in flavor, it's not very gooey. It just really doesn't have that kind of play like you get from the filling in just about any kind of pastry. I mean, not donuts, not Pop-Tarts, not anything else where there's filling inside. I don't know, it's a bit odd. The frosting that's on top of this pastry, just take a little bit here. It's actually pretty good. For what's essentially a sugar-free frosting, and there's not a lot of it, it's actually pretty tasty. It kind of tastes like a really cheap cupcake. You ever get like a really cheap cupcake? I'm not talking Entenmann's. Entenmann's would be like expensive compared to what I'm thinking of, but if you ever got like a really generic IGA or A&P, I just go back a ways, store, you know, where it's a level above a mom and pop store, but several levels below the common supermarket. Like it's not even Hannaford's, nothing. Those type of cupcakes, that's what this frosting reminds me of, except that I'm touching the heck out of this thing. None of it's coming off my fingers. I mean, none. Much like the filling and the pastry, it holds itself together. But look at this. It's not in the least bit crumbly. Look at this plate. See? Nothing. I guess this is part of the trade-off for not having all the sugars and the flours and everything. It is pretty edible though. Let me take another bite. The other knock I'm gonna put in here too is that the instructions had me nuke this for 10 seconds. Not 10-second increments until it's hot. Just 10 seconds, period. And it has the nerve to warn me. Warn me, caution. The frosting and the filling might be hot. Caution. Yeah, it's not cold, but it's lukewarm at best. And yeah, sure, I can go and nuke this in 10-second increments. It'll probably take about at least 3 times, I think, to get this to where it's more than warm. But to do so, with the way this pastry feels, I have a feeling this would harden pretty well. And the filling, I wouldn't be surprised if it just kind of dried up in there. So I think for nearly 10 bucks for 4 of these guys, essentially $2.50 per miniature Pop Tart, and the fact that it's not great, it's just edible, unless you're on a really restrictive diet where Pop Tarts, you can't even think about Pop Tarts, much less entertain the idea of having one even once in a blue moon. Unless that's you, I probably wouldn't even bother with this. I'll finish the rest of them because again, it's edible. It's not an offensive taste. It's fine. But when I tell you that it's nothing special, you're probably still imagining it better than it actually is. It's an okay way for me to satisfy my sweet tooth with something that has 4 net carbs. That's really it. So that's your legendary foods: strawberry protein pastry. It's okay, it's edible. For the price point, I feel like it's very much a letdown. If you're going for flavor, I wouldn't go for this, at least not the flavor that I picked. If you're going for the protein and health benefits and to eat something that reminds you of Pop Tarts with none of the sugars or rich flours, I guess it's an all right choice. I mean, I'm sure there's worse out there, both in taste and in price. But other than that, this is gonna be the last box I buy. How about you? Have you tried these legendary foods before? Have you tried the Quest protein bars before? I can tell you, I really like the Quest protein bars. Love the fact that I had this sweet protein bar that was very keto friendly and gave me as much protein as I needed, maybe even too much protein. But when I compare this to what the Quest bars are, I feel like maybe this is like the bastard stepchild. Anything else in the healthy alternative breakfast or junk food category that you'd like me to try, you've tried, you think it's great, or you have no idea what it's like and you'd rather use me as your guinea pig, drop that into the comments below or send me an email that's in the description box below, and I'll try it out because this is also your channel. Thanks so much for watching Star Quality Kitchen. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and stalk. Laters. You know that the founders of Quest actually sold their company to, I think it's Simply Better Foods, for $1 billion freaking dollars? Instead of taking that money and just going on a fantastic vacation, they decided to start up another company to make this. I appreciate what they're doing, but I think if they want to taste the same success that they have at Quest, that they need to revisit these pastries and maybe come up with a better recipe. Just my 2 cents.